Hello everybody, this is Medicomania. Today we will discuss the topic preeclampsia. So, it is a multisystemic disorder of unknown etiology characterized by hypertension and with proteinuria after 20 weeks in a previously normotensive and normoproteinuric women. So basically, there will be the hypertension after 20 weeks and with proteinuria, and the patient will feel hypertension for the first time, and there has no history of proteinuria in that woman before. So there's also preeclamptic features before 20 weeks, that is hydatidiform mole and polyhydramnios. Diagnostic criteria: there is hypertension above 145/90 mm of Hg or above, mean arterial pressure above 105 mm of Hg, edema pitting type over ankles, rapid weight gain, proteinuria above 0.3 gram per 24 hours of urine. Incidence is primary gravida 10% and multigravida 5%. Now the risk factor, the first one is the primary gravida. There is a family history of the hypertension or preeclampsia, placental abnormality if there is placental ischemia or hyperplacentosis, if there is a obesity or pre-existing vascular disease, new paternity or thrombophilia, antiphospholipid syndrome or protein C and F deficiency. Now etiological factors, the first is trophoblast invasion failure, the second is vascular endothelial damage, cytokine or free radicals, immune intolerance between maternal and fetal tissue, coagulation abnormality, genetic or dietary factors. Clinical features: swelling over the ankles, gradual swelling, and will extend towards the face, abdominal wall, vulva, or the whole body. Tightness of the ring finger, headache and epigastric pain, disturbed sleep, decrease in urinary output, blurring of vision or deafness vision. These all are the alarming symptoms. Now, let's take up the signs in order of manifestation. The first one will be the rapid weight gain, the second one will be the edema with hypertension, and the last features to appear, that will be the proteinuria. Abdominal examination we will do to rule out the IUGR, that is intrauterine growth retardation. The maternal complication, eclampsia, the major complication you will see during the pregnancy and after the pregnancy and during the labor too. Eclampsia is a prominent feature. The second is the cerebral hemorrhage, oliguria and uria, diminished vision, HELLP syndrome, acute respiratory distress syndrome, and in labor there will be the PPH, postpartum hemorrhage, purpular shock and sepsis after delivery, and the fetal complication IUD, IUGR, asphyxia and prematurity. IUD means intrauterine death. So let's take up the screening and prophylaxis. Doppler USG will do on umbilical artery, presence of diastolic notch, serum uric acid level that will be increased, free fetal DNA in maternal plasma, mean arterial pressure, systolic plus diastolic into 2/3, and it will be above 90 mm of Hg during the second trimester. Rollover test for the BP. Firstly, we will take the BP on the side of the patient, and after that we will ask the patient to roll back, and then we will take the BP and we will see the rise in the BP. And the last feature is second last is absence and reverse of diastolic flow, and the last one is proteinuria. Prophylaxis is regular ANC visit, antithrombotic aspirin 60 mg per daily, heparin, thrombophilia and high risk patients, calcium 2 gram per day we will give, and vitamin E, C and antioxidants will be given. Diet rich in protein to reduce the risk. Management will first start with the rest, to just improve the placental perfusion and decrease the blood pressure. Dietary intake, protein 100 gram per day, and calorie will be 1600 calorie per day. Injection Lasix 40 gram orally will be given in case of if there is a cardiac failure or pulmonary edema or massive edema. Antihypertensive in methyl dopa, labetalol, nifedipine or hydralgine in a case of hypertension. In case of hypertensive crisis, We will give Lebet and nifedipine, hadvalgine, and sodium nitroprusside, as well as nitroglycerin. So levodopa is contraindicated in cardiac failure and asthma. Daily monitoring we will do TPRP, fetal well-being assessment, urine and serological investigation, and 24 hours urine examination of the output. And now there's three criteria if there is a complete control of blood pressure. Now if the gestational age, we will look out for the preterm. If there is a preterm, we will discharge the patient and just continue the pregnancy, and also patient is advised for the ANC visit. If there is a term, we will ask the patient to stay in the hospital, and we will do the delivery either through the induction or the cesarean section. If the BP is persistently high, so we will just try to continue the pregnancy till 37-day gestational age, and or at least 34 weeks till the maturation of the lung. So again we will do the delivery either through the induction or from the ARM or oxytocin or cesarean section. If BP is persistently high, and despite the use of the antihypertensive drugs, and there is some serious signs and symptoms patient is facing, such as the visual disturbance, restlessness, tachycardia, tachypnea. So we will do the couple counseling, transfer of the patient to the tertiary care center, prophylactic management, that is MgSO4, magnesium sulfate to counter eclampsia, delivery irrespective of the gestational age, and steroid therapy just before 34 weeks to mature the lungs. And again after that there are two modes, induction of the delivery, ARM plus oxytocin, or cesarean section. Now after that, after delivery, we will monitor for the PPH, that is postpartum hemorrhage. This is it from the preeclampsia, and in the next video we will discuss about eclampsia. So thank you for this watching my video, and please like, share, subscribe, comment, and please hit the bell icon for getting the latest notification. Thank you very much.